We're excited about it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of moving parts. We're starting to get it down. You see guys starting to communicate a lot more. So it's starting to work a lot better, and we're flying around now.
This time of year, defense is usually ahead of the offense. You guys can make plays out there, but what do you see from the offensive side and the quarterbacks? Just tell us a little bit what you see from those guys.
I mean, they're rotating them in and out, but you can see they're all going through the progressions pretty well, trying to figure out how to run their routes and getting timing down. That's the biggest thing with them right now. The 3 steps have come out a little late, but they're starting to get it.
Is the communication that you have with Manny maybe a little different than what it was like last year, just by nature of where he's lining up? I'm just curious as to the pre-snap communication you're having with Manny now as opposed to maybe last year.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, he's talking a lot more because he's stacked, so he actually can see the whole formation. So it's good to have an older guy giving his presence and seeing what he sees out there, and we spread it around the field.
And then what about the guys behind you? Obviously, you don't have Leo out there. You don't have Aaron out there. You don't have Stefan out there. So maybe just talk about getting a different mix of guys in behind you and where that's good and where that might not be most beneficial in terms of...
I mean, it's good for those guys right now to get those reps because those are guys who got hurt at the end of the year. So we need everybody to get reps for need be. So it's great to have those guys in, but we know when they get back, it'll be just like they'll mix back in perfectly.
What has been the mantra from Coach Thurman heading into these OTAs as far as what he feels can realistically be accomplished by the unit?
Well, we're trying to be the best. That's the biggest thing. I mean, we think we were 4 last year, so we're just trying to move up, and we're trying to get to 1. That's accomplished. I think we can accomplish that. Everybody just talk. It's a big moving part defense, so everybody got to talk and be on everything. So.
And I just meant in OTAs this week in terms of what you guys can get accomplished.
Oh, and this week, yeah. I mean, this week. So I'm thinking a long way, but this week, I mean, we're just trying to communicate and get everybody the mental mistakes gone.
Okay. For you specifically, how is your role a little different going from a 4-3 middle linebacker to a 3-4 inside linebacker?
The biggest thing is that 2 gap, and that's the biggest thing right now. You just got to make sure you can't really run to 1 gap like we did last year. You got to go up and face the guard every play. So, I mean, it's fun for me going against guards, but it's just a different mentality.
So do you have to work more on, shedding blocks and things like that as opposed to just kind of attacking the ball?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing because you can't just run in the gap now because then you'll be out of position, then they'll hit the gap you're not in. So you just got to wait on the back and just read off of him.
How much more sideline to sideline or less sideline to sideline do you have to do in this defense compared to last year in your position?
I think you got to do a little more because you got to read off the line a lot more now. So they could be in the wrong gap. We're linebackers, so we just back them up and go off which way.
Is it also a more physical type of thing because you are taking on guards more often than
you got to be physical. Now, I mean, you got to put that on film. You got to have their head snapping back. You can't show the presence. You just taking on blocks. You got to have physical presence so when people see each week that you got to have to be in a long fight.
So to prepare for that, have you had to change yourself physically? With your off-season conditioning work, strength building, that sort of thing?
Not really. I mean, it's just kind of a mentality. I mean, you just got to bring it each day. It's not really something you work on. It's just having fun going out there hitting people.
Last week, Coach April mentioned that Ty Powell's probably going to push you and Nigel for a starting job. What's that competition look like early so far?
I mean, it's great to have a competition. I mean, it brings the best out of all of us. So, I mean, we're all best of friends and we're all pushing each other to be better. So who's ever out there is out there.
How much of a jump have you seen from Ty? It seems like all the coaches are really excited about the progress.
I mean, he's made a great jump. I mean, he's a guy that played outside D-line. I mean, he's finally at a set spot. You can see him growing each day.